Dear people of the southern Cameroons, my dear people of Ambazonia, fellow brave warriors of our liberation movement, accept greetings from me, Comrade John Akuro, on this 24th day of January 2024, and today is Wednesday. This is a very special and very important broadcast. Special because, in effect, La République du Cameroon is finding itself in a very uncomfortable situation vis-a-vis France right now. And I'm going to be having a lot of laughter on this show today. Folks, the Southern Cameroons, aka Ambazonia, are hardly at the Africa Cup of Nations. We are not in Cote d'Ivoire. But the image of Ambazonia has set La République du Cameroon ablaze. Yes, La République du Cameroon won against the Gambia yesterday in a very hotly contested encounter, and they likely qualify, or they qualify for the next round where they're going to face Nigeria. There was a lot of celebration, or there were celebrations all over La République du Cameroon yesterday, the 23rd of January 2024. But La République du Cameroon citizens got up from sleep this morning in total disbelief, total confusion, and the entire place is now like the people are mourning. It's as if their nonagenarian President Paul Biya has kicked the bucket. There is gnashing of teeth in Yaounde even as we speak right now. The cables, the traffic between Paris and France on the phone, on the internet, on everything is heavy. The traffic is really heavy. And what happened? What got them there? Fasten your seatbelt. Settle down on your chair. And begin to learn that when God says yes, there is no one that can say no. When God says yes, He sets confusion in the enemy camp. I mean confusion in the enemy's camp. Because you see, few days ago, they were reveling, they were making noise all over the place, they were excited. Oh, they have captured General Efang, they have done this, they have done that. Oh my goodness. It was such a big trophy. And from the way they have celebrated, from the way they have danced, I said, oh really? So they really dreaded General Efang. That's why the celebrations were wild. And you could see the Blacklegs, the Blackleg Kingdom in total ecstasy everywhere. Because they went to the Mbingo Baptist Hospital and exfiltrated a sick man on the bed receiving treatment. Of course, you know that our brave hearts in the great county of Bui have declared a lockdown, an indefinite lockdown, and they are asking questions from the hospital staff across the board. What happened? Why they would get involved to the point of, cooperating with a genocidal system to deliver a patient on a sick bed. But then, that joy was short-lived. Very, very short-lived. Because of an incident coming from a place where they least expected, where they could least expect. Folks, we have done a mighty job internationalizing our liberation movement to the point where whoever thinks Cameroon today thinks Ambazonia. That is where we are. could imagine it, that it is in France of all that this will happen. I have said here 1,001 times that this liberation movement is ordained by God. You have heard a lot of men and women of God make clear to you, Ambazonia will come to pass. I was watching in disbelief yesterday how some of our compatriots were dancing, were super excited, dancing everywhere, mocking the Ivorians. I mean, Southern Cameroonians, who were so horribly maltreated at that particular tournament, or who had been thoroughly maltreated, that even theirs who were selected didn't even have the opportunity to be on the reserve bench. I watched the sorry side of Clinton J, and I said, oh my goodness. We have told you 1,001 times, stop begging for relationship. Stop claiming relationship. Stop claiming being citizens of a country that has long reneged you. I'm going to come back here to show again clearly how Mr. Paul Biya, by day and by night, he and his government and peoples continue to tell Ambazonians who are recalcitrant that you don't belong here. When would they want to hear? When do they want to listen? Now God himself descended from heaven, took the upper hand, and said, in the enemy's house there shall be no joy. There shall be no dancing. That's why you see today, La République du Cameroon is not accusing the United States of America. No. La République du Cameroon citizens are not at odds with the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland. That's even an accomplice in getting us to where we are today. La République du Cameroon is not at odds with Nigeria that violated the international law of non-refoulement to send our leaders into jail, into harm's way, back in La République du Cameroon. The citizens of La République du Cameroon are today pointing fingers at France straight into the eyes of Emmanuel Macron. If someone told France that you are going to find yourself in this kind of awkward situation, they wouldn't believe it. At first, they thought it was a prank. At first, some thought it was some photoshopped thing and all of those things. Again, some of them went as far as saying that, oh, it should be some deep fake, artificial intelligence. But hell no, it is not. La République du Cameroon is in pain since this morning because of this image. Let me show you this image. La République du Cameroon, there are tears. Look at that image. This image was broadcast on TV5 Monde, Afrique. TV5 Monde, Afrique. The commentators were talking about the matches of the day, the matches of the day of yesterday. And they were actually looking at the matches that were, flowing yesterday, because there was La République du Cameroon playing against the Gambia, and there was Senegal playing against Guinea, and of course there was Angola playing against Burkina Faso, and Mauritania playing against Algeria. But what TV5 Monde did was that in the place of the flag of La République du Cameroon, where they put Cameroon, they rather put the flag of Ambazonia. You can see our flag there, very conspicuous. Oh my goodness. Listen, folks. Don't tell me that the French, who are making it clear to the world, because you go to most consular offices across the world, they know that Cameroon is a French-speaking country. So they don't associate anything English and or not with it. It's official. They know that Cameroon is a French-speaking country. And recall, when Mr. Paul Biya went to France and was squeezed by Mo Ibrahim, was pushed to the corner by Mo Ibrahim, Mr. Biya said that they had attempted to simply swallow the Southern Cameroons, swallow us, and transform us into francophones, into citizens of La République du Cameroun, of course, and kill our own colonial heritage, being the Anglo-Saxon system. But that they attempted and it failed. And so, therefore, to imagine that this is happening on a French channel that's owned majority capital by the French government and a few other entities from Africa and especially Western Europe, this should be such a big deal. And so, it is the flag of Ambazonia that is hanging there. You begin by asking yourself, but how did they get this flag? What was this flag doing there? Ambazonia, the southern Cameroon, is not at the AFCON. When you sit down and you are talking and they tell you there is God, you say there is none. No, no. This is not by error. This is a message. This is a clear message to Yaounde that if you have been doubting, Ambazonia will be. Ambazonia will be. Though we will not want our flag displayed against the name of a genocidal country like La République du Cameroun. But the appearance of this flag here is extremely significant. And that is why you see La République du Cameroun is rattled. I mean rattled. I'm telling you folks, inside Yaounde, there is Queried. In fact, if I was speaking in Pidgin, because I'll do a summary of this in broken language, I would say, die day for big compound. Look at this. The online publication, Phoenix, they were so overwhelmed, taken by total consternation that they wrote this. Urgent, TV5 remplace le drapeau du Cameroun par celui de l'Ambazonie. That is the title of this article. I'll cut it short so I want to read what is there. That's urgent. TV5 remplace le drapeau du Cameroun par celui de l'Ambazonie. C'est une séquence surréaliste, mais qui est pourtant vraie. What are they saying here? That this is something that may seem so unrealistic. It may seem as if it never happened. That it may seem as if one is dreaming. It may seem as if it's a fairy tale. But, that says the author, mais pourtant vrai. Alors que le Cameroun n'a jamais eu de couleur bleue sur son drapeau, dans son édition, that's Cameroon. They say Cameroon has never had a blue color on its flag. So you won't easily say that France or that TV5 Monde made a mistake and because they saw blue, they just thought that it was Cameroon. No, that's what the author of this article is saying that you're seeing on your screen. So il dit, dans son édition de ce 23 janvier 2024, l'émission 64 minutes, Le Monde, that's in his program 64 minutes of January 23, 2024. Le Monde en français de la chaîne occidentale a présenté un drapeau bleu-blanc frappé d'une étoile et d'un oiseau à côté du nom Cameroun pendant la rencontre contre la Gambie. So they say during the encounter, during the match between Cameroon and Gambia, TV5 Monde rather broadcast the flag of Ambazonia against the name Cameroon. So they say, sur les commentaires de Simon Rodier, on pouvait distinctement l'apprécier. Il ne s'agit pas moins que du drapeau de la République imaginaire d'Ambazonie. So he said, this is not just any kind of other flag. It is the flag of what they refer to, because they refer to our country as an imaginary country, Ambazonia. Du nom de l'État que revendiquent les indépendantistes des régions du nord-ouest et du sud-ouest au Cameroun. Cette séquence surréaliste suivie par le lepard.com a eu de quoi indigner de nombreux Camerounais qui se demandent toujours comment cela a pu arriver. Because you see, they are confused. Like I say, they are wondering, how could this happen? How on earth, of all the flags in the world, if France if TV5 Monde, that is based in France, was going to make an error, why on earth would it only be with the flag of Ambazonia? That is the issue that is rattling Yaounde. They say, surtout que lorsqu'on sait que depuis le début de la compétition, le bon drapeau était utilisé. He says, of course, from the start of the competition, TV5 Monde Afrique has used the green, red, yellow of the Cameroon flag normally. So they are wondering what happened that during this last match, this particular last group stage match against the Gambia, that TV5 Monde suddenly showed up with the flag of Ambazonia. Listen, folks, if you are acquainted to the word with capital W, to the word of God, you understand they say, when God instructs, even the devil obeys. Did you hear that? When God instructs, even the devil obeys. God did not choose BBC. They would have said, oh, okay, bon, comme c'est les Anglais, because, maybe the British want to go back to their word that they had given, selling Ambazonia, selling the southern Cameroons to France. But why should they do that? No, it is not on BBC. If you're on CNN, they will say, oh, because all the leaders, or most of the leaders of the Southern Cameroon's liberation movement are based in the US, and the US has even granted temporary protected status. The US has even come out with a lot of resolutions. So the US has decided to favor Ambazonia. If we were CNN, that's what they will say. If you were Africa Independent Television, or if you were Channels Television in Nigeria, they would have said, oh, les Biafrans, that the Biafrans are only recognizing their brothers. That's what they would have said. Because they don't hesitate to insult us by calling us les Biafrans, les ennemis dans la maison. But it happened with a French-speaking channel with capital from the French government. And the commentators are French citizens. French citizens. So he says, aussi, elle dirige également. No, he says that le Cameroun n'est pourtant pas un pays mal connu par cette chaîne occidentale. Yeah, they say Cameroon is not a country that is not known by TV5 Monde Afrique journalists, by TV5 Afrique Monde journalists. He says, no, they know Cameroon very well. So they won't say that it was a mistake. And then they say aussi, and then they say, la célèbre journaliste camerounaise Denise Epote est à la tête de la direction Afrique de TV5 Monde. You hear that? So they are reminding themselves, but how could this happen? Because not only is this TV5 Monde Afrique a channel that has a huge French capital, has French backing, and even based in France. But the director of the African channel of TV5 Monde is Denise Epote, a citizen of la République du Cameroun. That's why Phoenix can't understand how this happened. And they say aussi, elle dirige également la distribution, le marketing et la commercialisation de TV5 Monde, conjointement avec sa mission de PCA, de TV5 Monde USA et Amérique latine. In short, they are trying to say Denise Epote has a lot of weight. She has several portfolios within the TV5 Monde system. How on earth could this pass? How on earth could they not know that the flag of Cameroon is green, red, yellow with a star on the red, with a yellow star on the red? They are lost. They say la France et ses alliés sont clairement pointés du doigt. So they say France and its allies are clearly responsible for what happened. Yes. Clairement pointés du doigt pour cette erreur. Tant la chaîne de la télévision généraliste francophone internationale créée en 1992 audiovisuel public de France. So they are saying the countries that have shares in this company, TV5, the TV5 chain, or the TV5 chain of channels, are France, Belgium, Switzerland, Canada, and the Monaco Principality. So if these countries are the ones that own TV5, how comes that TV5 will not know the flag of Cameroon? That is the pain that they are having. Folks, just like most of you, when I saw it at first, I said, oh wow, some brave Southern Cameroonians have scored a third goal against the Republic of Cameroon by carefully doing some very excellent editing. And then inserting this flag when it was just this picture. And then, when it was just this one first, then I went from this one to this one with Phoenix crying with tears in their eyes. And then from there to the video itself. Watch.
Entrer jusqu'au bout, les matchs du jour ont déjà commencé et là aussi beaucoup d'enjeux, Simon.
Oui, avec tous les Ivoiriens devant leur télé, avec leur calculette à la main, pour regarder notamment les scores en cours. Gambie, Cameroun et Guinée-Sénégal, ce sont les matchs qui se disputent actuellement 0-0 pour l'instant, en tout cas après 10 minutes de jeu.
You can see there very clearly. You can see there very neatly. That is the Ambazonian flag on the video. Because this is video. What is playing there now is video. That is it, as you can see. Gambie, Cameroon. But what you see there, the flag there? Blue, white, with our dove. That is the Ambazonian flag. When God instructs, even the devil obeys. This should tell you, my dear people of Ambazonia, my dear people of the Southern Cameroons, that we as a people have worked very hard to internationalize this liberation movement. Because you see this flag, it didn't just fall from the skies. It is in the newsroom of TV5 Afrique, Monde. It is in their newsroom. So they have it in their rush, they have it everywhere. This flag should be in all the newsrooms in the world. Watch it and finish.
Jeu environ, c'est très très important pour le Cameroun qui doit absolument l'emporter pour se qualifier. Et puis ce soir, vous le voyez, Angola, Burkina Faso et puis Mauritanie, Algérie. L'Algérie très très mal en point, une défaite contre la Mauritanie et c'est fini. Mais finalement, le sélectionneur Belmadi
Entrer jusqu'au bout, les matchs du jour ont déjà commencé et là aussi beaucoup d'enjeux, Simon.
Oui, avec tous les Ivoiriens devant leur télé, avec leur calculette à la main, pour regarder notamment les scores en cours. Gambie, Cameroun et Guinée-Sénégal, ce sont les matchs qui se disputent.
So you see, they broadcast it for the second time. It didn't just pass once, flash and disappear. No, it came up again for the second time in this particular shot. But there would definitely be an occasion that will show that even when maybe the third time. This is what has set La République du Cameroun ablaze. This is why La République du Cameroun can't understand what is going on here. Look at folks.
Actuellement 0-0 pour l'instant, en tout cas après 10 minutes de jeu environ. C'est très très important pour le Cameroun qui doit absolument l'emporter pour se qualifier. Et puis ce soir, vous le voyez, Angola, Burkina Faso et puis Mauritanie, Algérie. L'Algérie très très mal en point, une défaite contre la Mauritanie et c'est fini. Mais finalement, le sélectionneur...
So you can see it, that flag was there for quite a while. That screenshot was there for quite a while. Oh my goodness. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate all our people across the world and to tell the Black Leg community, if you have been doubting that Ambazonia will be, heaven is telling you today, it is time for you to jump off the wrong train. If you were a serious supporter and militant for Ambazonia and you were backsliding, God is sending you a sound message. I said here at the beginning of the year that 2024 is going to be a completely different year. This is happening in January. No, it didn't happen in March, not in May, not in April. No. This is a thorough announcement from the world of the Spirit. I said here before, it happens in the Spirit. before it manifests in the physical. For those of you who have been doubting Thomas's, God has just announced Ambazonia to you. Ambazonia is coming. Recall, Mr. Tibor Nagy has said 1,001 times in tweets that in spite of the disorder that the Ambazonian diaspora is demonstrating to the rest of the world, in spite of us, Ambazonia will come to pass. Folks, and he was not the only one who said it. This is Dieudonné Esomba. Dieudonné Esomba said on November 18, 2021. Did you hear that? In 2021, November 18, 2021, Dieudonné Esomba told them we have to start envisaging the possibility of a future Cameroon without Anglophones in it. Did you read that? It's not me saying. That's Dieudonné Esomba. He said that on the television channel, the live debate in La République du Cameroun, that we have to start envisaging the possibility of a future Cameroon without Anglophones in it. I played to you here a prophet from La République du Cameroun. I played his video here, where he announced that there will not be any elections in La République du Cameroun in 2025. He said what is going to happen in 2024 is chaos, is war. Because Paul Biya, in 2024, chaos, war, confusion. He said there will be no election. There will be no Frank Biya. There will be no Camto. It's not me who said it. He said it. And now, in January of this 2024, God is telling you how it's going to happen. If you are doubting, you are seeing. I'm not the one saying it. But I said at the start of the year, this is going to be a different year. When God instructs, even the devil obeys. So La République du Cameroun is in total disarray. If you are doubting, you will see right ahead that this is not a joke. And so we have Paul Biya to thank for all what you are saying. We have Paul Biya to thank because he needed someone like Paul Biya in La République du Cameroun with such horrible policies to wake the people of the southern Cameroons from slumber, to wake the Ambazonians brutally out of sleep, to begin asking the questions, but where are we? How did we get here in the first place? Do we even belong? Why should we stay here? We have to thank Mr. Paul Biya because he needed someone like him. I mean, with policies that could choke us to make us finally come to that realization that we have to stand up and take back that which belongs to us. That is why I must now revert to our friend, to our dear comrade, Ashunyanti.
President Paul Biya is a blessing to this country. Cameroonians, we are lucky. We are made because we have Paul Biya, the helm of the state CAF. This president...
You see that? Awesome! President Paul Biya is what? A blessing. You heard in 2024, Paul Biya's own daughter, Brenda Biya. Paul Biya's own daughter, Brenda Biya, said she doesn't understand why they are treating and trying to berate us as if we're terrorists. Freedom fighters have a place. This is Brenda.
People talk down on rebels and think being rebellious is wrong, and they don't realize the whole time that some of their favorite heroes are actually rebels, because it takes a rebel person to stand up against an oppressing system or a system that is unfairly treating other people. It takes a rebel to stand up and change society norms. I'm gonna give you an example. We talk about people like Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, Albert Einstein, of all people. They all stood up for what they believed in, and they all weren't afraid to change social norms and to do things differently and to rebel up. So I'm not inviting anybody or telling everybody to be a rebel, but I'm saying being rebellious is not necessarily a bad trait. It just means that you don't think in the same way of society and that you're not afraid to stand up for what you believe.
So Brenda, they make clear to them, you can't call people terrorists simply because they want to assert themselves. Simply because they stand for what they believe in. Simply because they are reminding you about a truth, a fundamental truth, that you are annexationist on our territory. Folks, these things are not happening in December 2023. They are happening in January of 2024. Wake up from sleep. If you are still sleeping, wake up from sleep. Wake up, wake up. Collect your country, collect your country. Wake up, wake up. Collect your country, collect your country. This is where we are. I talked to you about this prophet. Hear him again.
Qui va être réactivé sous le contrôle de par le contrôle de la France. Il y aura également l'Ambazonie qui de l'autre côté sera réactivée. Ça, ce sont des foyers déjà qui ont été créés en avance pour simplement prévoir cela. Il faut que les Camerounais se réveillent et qu'ils le sachent. Donc, ce qui a été prévu ici. Bonjour à tous. Je tiens à préciser.
So did you hear that? He was even just at the conclusion of what he said there, saying Ambazonia is already standing. And in 2024, when he says Ambazonia will be reactivated, he's simply saying in 2024, Ambazonia is going to get bigger teeth. And in 2024, Ambazonia will become unstoppable. Listen. Listen, folks. These sequences are not mistakes. They are not just coming, they are not falling from the blues. This gentleman is talking about 2024. Listen again small.
Préciser quelque chose à mes frères camerounais, aux Africains en général, parce que ce qui se passe ici au Cameroun et ce qui va se passer dans les prochains mois va engager totalement la stabilité, toute la stabilité politique africaine, la stabilité économique africaine, tout sera engagé. Donc je veux dire ceci, hein, ceux qui attendent l'alternance au Cameroun par la voie des élections, par la voie des urnes, cette alternance ne sera pas par là. Donc en 2025, il n'y aura pas élection au Cameroun.
So he burst the abscess. He said what is going to happen in Cameroon will destabilize the stability of a lot of Africa. That's the political and social stability in a lot of Africa. He's clear. And he says, those who are expecting power transition in the Republic of Cameroon through the ballot box, it will not happen. And he emphasizes there will be no election in 2025. Everything will be played in 2024. And you heard in his conclusion, he says Ambazonia will be reactivated. What is he saying? Because you see, like we can move around and say, oh, there's total peace, there's a return to peace. They are calling this one Atangaji, Papa Moulinex, or calling this one, Papa Rouleau Compresseur, or Papa Serpent Affamé, and all of those things. They move around and say, no, peace has come back, normalcy has come back, we can resume the reconstruction project. He is telling you Ambazonia will be reactivated. It means in 2024, things are not going to be the same again. The relative calm they have noticed will end because we will Chakara in 2024. And trust me, when we went to Canada for a conference and came away from there, we're building a secretariat. And we have put in place a one-pot relief to reinforce collection of funds in one place and to change the dynamics the way we want to change. Other actors are doing things. I followed Comrade Nam say that the videos we saw coming from Bonge were the handiwork of Comrade Samuel Sako. You will not, everyone that does any single thing to push it, because 2024, let the blows come from all angles. But 2024, all our nuclear reactors will power on all cylinders. That's exactly what that prophet is saying. That in 2024, Ambazonia will do what? Power on all cylinders. Oh my goodness, I'm feeling hot. I've not finished with the footage from La République du Cameroon concerning that flag, so don't go away. Let's relax a bit, just 10 seconds. Hey, my goodness, this was pretty sweet, very sweet, right? So, I mean, we needed to stop and have some fun. So, you see, immediately this thing happened, one of the Southern Cameroonians who was given a senior position in La République du Cameroon, Joe Tebonken Kalabopse, he rose up at National Communication Council and issued the following press release, which he says, le Conseil national de la communication porte à la connaissance de l'opinion publique qu'en date du 23 janvier 2024, au cours de l'émission intitulée 64 minutes, Le Monde en français, diffusée sur la chaîne télévision dénommée TV5 Monde, faisant le point des rencontres de la Coupe d'Afrique des Nations de football 2023 qui se déroule en Côte d'Ivoire. Le Cameroun a été représenté par un drapeau qui n'est pas le sien et qui prête à confusion. Eh oui, Joe Tebonken Kalabopse. Joe Tebonken Kalabopse is writing by the French, says that TV5 Monde has discombobulated the entire community of La République du Cameroun. And La République du Cameroun has been entirely discombobulated by the action of TV5 because they represented Cameroon by a flag that is not that of Cameroon, and they have created so much confusion. Confusion in the enemy camp. I said it. It's official. I said fire is burning in Yaounde. He said, en effet, au contraire de ce qui a été aperçu au cours de l'émission sus-évoquée, le drapeau du Cameroun est un rectangle de 3 couleurs, vert, rouge, jaune, et 3 blancs verticales, nyang, 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 compte tenu de ce qui précède. He said, that flag, he's now going ahead to describe to them the Cameroon flag. The Cameroon flag, red, yellow, with this stripe, white stripe, mang, 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 all of those things. TV5 Monde was simply obeying a spiritual instruction. When God instructs, even the devil obeys. Write it down and watch it out in your life. When God instructs, the devil stands at akimbo. That's exactly what happened. That is how this flag found its way onto the television screens of TV5 Monde. During which kind of occasion? Not just some lousy occasion. One of the most capital encounters for La République du Cameroun, so that nobody should miss it. Nobody could miss it. If it were the second match, okay, but this was a match that all the hopes of qualification of La République du Cameroun were on. All of them were glued to the screen. All the supporters of La République du Cameroun were glued to the screen. Everyone. That is the day God picked to project the flag of Ambazonia, to tell the world, I am officially announcing Ambazonia. Because watch this. When La République du Cameroun played their first encounter against Guinea, of course, TV5 Monde projected the green, red, yellow, and the star trap of La République du Cameroun. Normally, no problem. On the second encounter between Cameroon and Senegal, they projected the right flag of La République du Cameroun. Now La République du Cameroun was threatened with being eliminated, and they needed a win in this match at all costs to stand where they are standing today. So this was a match that nobody could miss, and the tension was, even Bia was watching, everybody, all of them. This is the day God chose to say, okay, bam. Folks, You don't know. You don't know. And then Joe Chebonken ends his Joseph Chebonken Kalabopse. He ends his communiqué by saying, le Conseil national de la communication demande aux responsables de la chaîne de télévision, that's what, I think the text is there. Le Conseil national de la communication demande aux responsables de la chaîne de télévision mise en cause de lui adresser sans délai les explications appropriées au sujet de cette impair. Wonderful. Joe Chebonken Kalabopse is instructing, giving an ultimatum to the management team of TV5 Monde to explain very quickly to the Cameroon National Communication Council what happened. Explain in 3 lines. That's a query, a public query issued by one of the chief slaves, Joe Chebonken Kalabopse. Quick, explain. If not what, Joe? No. And then, that's not enough. One of the Zozos, that's how they call it themselves, one of the Zozos, that they took and caused him to wear a B uniform and carried him to Bamenda. That he should go there and stand there and tell children, oh, you see, I'm here. I can move around. I can even manger soya too. Sanga the core here. So everybody go to school. The war is over. Everything is finished. Hey, he's in tears. So he too is screaming over the rooftop. They call that one. They call that Zozo. They call that town crier Stifa. Listen to him.
Chers compatriotes, bonjour. Je viens de publier un message pour mettre en garde TV5 Monde au sujet du drapeau du Cameroun. Mais il y a certaines personnes qui prétendent qu'il s'agit d'un montage. Du coup, j'ai l'impression que vous sous-estimez la capacité de nuisance de ces individus.
Did you hear what Steve says? See, he has the feeling that the people of la République du Cameroon are underestimated or are underestimating the capacity of the people of Ambazonia to bring them total confusion, to set them in pace, to set them on fire. He says our capacity to be nuisances is too much. That our capacity to be a nuisance. Say people are underestimating us. Because he says that when he first projected, people say, oh, leave it. It was Photoshop. It's Photoshop. It's some Photoshop. Like I said, man, it's something AI. But he says, no. You people are underestimating those guys. You don't know how far they can go. They have dealt with us. The people are joking. We are finished. Hear him.
Voici la vidéo.
Oui, avec tous les Ivoiriens devant leur télé, avec leurs calculettes à la main, pour regarder notamment les scores en cours. Gambie, Cameroun et Guinée-Sénégal, ce sont les matchs qui se disputent actuellement 0-0 pour l'un.
So if you were watching me and I was talking and I played that video and you thought that is AI, I thought that is something doctored by us and we put words into the mouth of those commentators of TV5 Afrique. Of course, you heard the communicate strongly worded press release from Joe Chebonken Kalabopse telling the management team of TV5 Afrique to hurry quickly and come and provide explanations. Now you have Stifa, one of their town criers, one of their vuvuzelas, one of their street fighters. Come here, that's him to playing the same video on his phone. Watch it. Finish.
En tout cas, après 10 minutes de jeu environ.
Tout d'abord, je tiens à répéter. TV5 Monde, faites très attention. J'aimerais croire qu'il s'agit d'une erreur. Alors voici le drapeau du Cameroun.
Stifa is warning TV5. A butterfly is thinking itself about. Stifa says TV5 fait très attention. This is the Cameroon flag, if you don't know it. Nyama.
Regardez bien le drapeau du Cameroun. C'est pour ce drapeau que les lions ont mouillé le drapeau hier. C'est pour ce drapeau que Samuel Eto'o a pleuré hier. C'est pour ce drapeau que France...
It is for this flag that the lions or indomitable lion or chicken lion or kitten lions played to that point yesterday. It is because of this flag that Samuel Eto'o cried and you could see tears running down his cheeks. It is because of this flag that all the baby bees are falling all over Ambazonia like mosquitoes, like flies. It is because of this flag that all the amoka don't turn moving coffins. It is because of this flag. Stifa, it's because of the flag here that what is happening. That George Ebonkin Kalabop is crying too. That Papa Moulinex is making noise. Okay, talk. Now you.
Il m'a dit, enfin,
Entrer jusqu'au bout, les matchs du jour ont déjà commencé et là aussi beaucoup d'enjeux, Simon.
ouais, avec tous les Ivoiriens devant leur télé, avec leur calculette à la main, pour regarder notamment les scores en cours. Gambie,
nous frappe de toutes ses forces. C'est pour ce drapeau, je sais pas, ce drapeau coule dans nos veines. C'est pour ce drapeau que nous rayonnons à travers le monde. C'est pour ce drapeau que nous sommes ce que nous sommes. Ce drapeau est notre raison d'exister.
Hey, wait, Stifa. The flag, it is because of that flag that they exist. What? It's because of green, red, yellow that the citizens of La République du Cameroun, the genocidal country, exist. It's because of this flag. And now they have taken their flag, they have swept it under the carpet and replaced it with the flag of mighty Ambazonia. Hey, Stifa, what will you do, Steve? So, what should the French do? Say it quickly.
Alors, Monsieur Thierry Marchand, ambassadeur de France au Cameroun, je sais que vous avez un amour particulier pour mon cher et beau pays. En tant que général, en tant qu'ancien général de l'armée française, je sais que vous maîtrisez mieux que moi les effets pervers de la guerre.
Hey, wait. Hey, Stifa, he is talking to the French ambassador to Cameroon. As a general, no. As a retired general, I know you love Cameroon so much. And I know, Mr. General, that you know the perverse effects of war. Hey, Stifa, does war have perverse effects? When you join your voices to those of Jacques Zé and say on va les dératiser, join your voice to that of Okalia Big Mob Bernard and said that we were dogs. Any man who is dog. So you know that war has perverse effects. Tell the ambassador what you want to say and get away from my screen.
Surtout cette sale guerre qui sévit au Cameroun. Alors, je vous prie de saisir ce dossier. Saisissez-vous de ce dossier. Car le peuple camerounais est persuadé qu'il ne s'agit pas d'une erreur, mais d'une provocation. Battez donc le fer car il est chaud.
Did you hear what he said? He says the ambassador should take this matter himself into his hands. That he should personally handle this matter. And he says, because the people of Cameroon are convinced that this was not a mistake. Of course, it is not a mistake. It is not. Stifa, I agree with you. That's why I tell people that once in a while, although you are just a lousy town crier, making noise all over the place and, you know, siding with the genocidal regime, but there are moments when you speak some sense. There are moments when at least they are bringing reasons straight. Like today. This is not a mistake. It was not a mistake. The management team of TV5 Afrique Monde will not be able to give people any explanation because they themselves don't know what happened. They will tell you that. They don't know how it happened. They don't know how that flag in particular slipped to find itself on the screen and being broadcast over and over. They won't. They have no explanation. When God does his thing, he leaves nobody the chance to doubt that he did it. That's why La République du Cameroun is rattled. Stifa says it is not a mistake. They don't think it's a mistake. No. Stifa, since it is not a mistake, what do you think happened?
Comme on dit au Cameroun, achetez le problème. N'attendez pas que le gouvernement camerounais réagisse. Faites réagir votre gouvernement et votre président si possible. Obtenez de votre gouvernement ou de ce média des excuses.
Did you hear what he's saying? What? Stifa says, Mr. Ambassador, don't wait for the Cameroon government to react first. Don't wait for the Cameroon government to come out making any noise. By the time Steve is talking, you don't know that the Cameroon government is not that kind that can stay quiet. They are rattled, there is confusion, they are crying, there is mourning. Die day for big compound. That's why before you even finish saying, just let Joe Chebonken was already out there. Oh, my brother, Mr. Chebonken, you wait another post? Are you waiting for something else? Of course, he was already out there. That's it. So Stifa says the ambassador should buy the case. Buy the case yourself. And he says the ambassador should cause his government, the French government, to react. And that if possible, he should ask Macron himself. Wonderful. Stifa says Macron himself should come out and apologize. And then why they are also asking the French channel to present public apologies. Macron. Wait, let's finish hearing.
Officiel pour notre pays. Peuple camerounais, calmons-nous d'abord. Donnons-leur 7 journées pour réagir. Chères autorités françaises, c'est à vous de jouer.
Stifa says Cameroonian public should stay quiet. Everybody should calm down first. Cameroon government stay quiet. Don't act first. Let them give, that they should give the French government this day of the 24th of January 2024 to see how they react, so that they should come out and apologize. Or else, Stifa, go ahead.
Non jouer. Sinon, c'est la goutte d'eau qui fera déborder le vase du sentiment anti-français qui règne déjà en Afrique.
Wait. I never knew that there was an anti-French sentiment in Cameroon, in La République. Hey, Stifa. Stifa says if Macron does not speak, if the French government does not react, if they don't explain quickly to the Cameroonian people, if they don't call on that channel, TV5 to present public apologies, this one will be that drop of water that will do what? That will cause an overflow of the anti-French sentiments that are already everywhere in Africa. Oh, La République is not threatening France. Hey, Massa. Confusion in the enemy's camp. Stifa, finish.
Monsieur le ministre de la Communication, Papa Molinex, ne parlez pas. Laissez-nous, laissez vos enfants gérer ça.
Hey, Monsieur le ministre de la Communication, Papa Molinex. Listen, so he's telling the Cameroon Minister of Communication, René Emmanuel Sadi, don't say anything, don't react, but the National Communication Council don't react to. And then he said, Papa Molinex, people know he's calling Papa Molinex, he's talking about a Tangana Ponji. Talking about Tangana Ponji. Say Tangana Ponji, Papa Molinex, don't say anything. So why should they stay quiet, Stifa? Why? What do you plan to do?
Laissez-nous gérer cette chaînette. Nous sommes déjà grands. Alors, peuple camerounais, partagez cette vidéo et parlez fort afin qu'on puisse tuer dans l'œuf ces velléités. Chers compatriotes,
did you hear that? So he says the Cameroon government should stay quiet. Papa Molinex Atangana Ponji, Papa Sepang Afame, Papa the voices in the bushes, Papa let us go and bury the bereaved. Then he should stay quiet, should seal his mouth. They should stay quiet and allow him, Stifa, and other young people to fight because they have come of age and they can fight for themselves. And he says, Cameroonians, make some noise. It's not Le Bongo, eh? You put on Le Bongo. Say, fais du bruit, parlons fort. Cameroonians, make some noise, loud noise. Because this thing like this, we are finished, though. My people, this is what happens. This is what happens when God lifts only his fingernail. Because this far is just the fingernail that has been lifted. Just the fingernail. In January, you see what's happening already. Confusion everywhere. The celebrations over the defeat of small Gambia has turned sour. Like the British Cameroon is rattled. Yaounde is on fire. Yaounde is asking France to explain itself, to apologize to it. Hey! Whoa, man. This thing has just started to may we watch. My country people, they say, Gary don't pass water. Better what's going to happen? Hey, it's not easy. Well, folks, This is a clarion call on all of us to understand that hard work pays. We have fought a relentless fight. It is time for us to finish the race. We have fought a relentless fight with all our energy, with all our might. The time is now for us to finish the race. And 2024 is the decision year. You can see all the signs. This is January. I've shown you an avalanche of signs and wonders to understand that if you were standing on the fence, jump back inside the fence. If you had backslided, come back to the fold. If you were doubting, run quickly into this morning train. If you were a blackleg, repent. Repent. Because soon, you will not have the opportunity again to do so. Because whether you like it or not, Ambazonia has been announced. Nothing, nothing again shall stop it. There is now confusion in the camp of the enemy. The center of gravity can no longer hold. In La République du Cameroon, things have fallen apart. Until Yaounde is now asking Paris for explanations. Well, folks, share this video. Share as much as you can. Let our people live the reality of the results of our relentless efforts and of God's supreme intervention and of God's hand, most especially in this liberation movement. To the same God and to Him alone be all the glory.